evening. It is Erick Erickson here. This is actually the second hour. If you were here just 2 weeks ago, it would have been the first hour, but now we are moving. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mark Aram comes up at the top of the hour, top of the next hour. So the phone number here, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. I want to start with local news. January 14th, Brian Kemp will become the governor of Georgia, right now governor-elect, as Nathan Deal winds down his administration. The Democrats in Georgia and the Republicans in the past, when the Democrats controlled the governor's mansion, always showed each other a modicum of grace by winding down campaign season once the campaign was actually over and giving the governor a bit of a start to try to get his campaign and get his administration underway. Democrats in Georgia have decided that they're not going to do that. If you are an independent voter or your Google profile, your advertising profile online suggests that you're an independent voter or you're a Democratic voter or you're a Republican woman for that matter, they're going to target you. You're going to start seeing ads. And in fact, there are still running ads on Facebook, on Google, across the board, attack ads on Brian Kemp. They're attacking him for business loans. They're attacking him, claiming he's got unethical conduct. They're trying to build a case in the media that Brian Kemp is a corrupt Trump person. Essentially, the Democrats in Georgia know that Brian Kemp has 4 years to establish himself as his own man, and they don't want him to be able to do that. They believe that Donald Trump is an inherent weakness for Brian Kemp, and they're doing their best to continue to tie him to Donald Trump. They want to show Brian Kemp as corrupt. They want to show him as out of touch. They want to show him as an elitist. They want to show him as crooked. They want to show him as involved in bad business deals. All of these things in order to mount a case against him. Now, they've got some problems because several Democratic members of the legislature are showing that they do want to work with Brian Kemp's administration, particularly on teacher pay raises. He's going to be able to get some bipartisan wins. But this all goes for 4 years. There are rumblings in the Democratic Party here in Georgia that Stacey Abrams may decline to run against David Perdue. In fact, I'm hearing Michelle Nunn may try to run against David Perdue again in 2020, and that Stacey Abrams is going to use the Democratic Party apparatus to lay the groundwork to run against Brian Kemp in 2020, essentially on an I told you so campaign. They don't want to give him a break. Now, the Kemp campaign is going to still have these 4 years to be able to show that he is his own man. They're still going to be able to have these 4 years to show that he doesn't stand in President Trump's shadow. But more importantly, Brian Kemp is going to have 4 years to show Georgia that he has the competence and skill to continue to move the state forward. There are economic warning signs on the horizon. The Dow Jones fell 660 points today, or 2% over Apple's earnings concerns. One of the Trump administration senior officials came out today and said there are going to be dozens of other American corporations saying the same thing that Apple has said, that their earnings are on decline and they're revising earnings because of the president's trade war with China. That the White House now acknowledging his tariffs are having an impact on American companies. There's going to be an economic slowdown, apparently. There are lots and lots of warning signs, at least, that we are headed into an economic slowdown. And if Brian Kemp over the next 4 years can chart a course for Georgia that keeps Georgia out of the economic decline that more and more people are beginning to believe is going to happen, well, he'll have a great record to campaign on when it comes to 2022. I said 2020, that's Michelle Nunn against David Perdue, 2022 when he would be up. And I don't think we're going to have a 4-year economic turndown anyway. And, you know, if the president doesn't win re-election in 2020 and there's a Democrat, that improves the Republicans' odds across the nation for picking up seats, including holding on to governor's mansions in Georgia. The Democrats, however, are convinced that they can convince Republican women and independent voters and moderate Democrats that Brian Kemp has no business being governor. They are going to fund a campaign online and offline, on TV, on radio, in mail, and at least if they have the money, they're going to try to continue to badger Brian Kemp, continue to assassinate his character, and continue to try to portray him as a mini Trump. Because they don't have an agenda to run on. They don't have a winning side. They don't have a winning team. They don't have a majority. They don't have statewide wins in Georgia. The best they can do is a 4-year character assassination of Brian Kemp and hope that people will cry uncle and say, enough, we'll give it to you, Democrats, just go away. That's going to be their strategy. I don't think it's going to work for them. I don't think in 4 years of beating up Brian Kemp, and he has a successful record as governor to show, that the Democrats are going to be able to do what they want to do. But that's not going to stop them from wasting their money and trying. I will say, though, Republicans in Georgia do need a response to this. They do need to get some wins for their base. One of the things Republicans can do as a win for their base, religious liberty. One of the other things Republicans can do as a win for their base is helping rural Georgia and farmers in the state and not kowtowing to liberal interests in the city of Atlanta. If they can shore up their base and do these things, well, he's going to have an economic record to show. He'll also have a socially conservative record to show. So when you have Republican senators like Renee Unterman saying basically, screw you, social conservatives, we're going to work on getting the suburbs back by pushing a liberal agenda, well, I don't know that that's the wisest course for Republicans in the state. They're just going to be bowing to the Democrats and the Democrats' sustained campaign attack. It's time to fight back as conservatives. Now, let's go check traffic with Doug Turnbull.
Sure, if you're